I need you desperately to lock in with me. I don't need you confused. I don't need you misconstruing my words. I want you to open your ears and I want you to read my lips that should be connected to a woman's privates consensually. You can disagree with people and just walk away from conversation. It ain't that difficult. It's not controversial. It's you deciding, you know what? Based on how I feel about it right now, I don't feel like talking about it, and walk away. Now, if somebody chooses to follow you if you walk away, then that's a different story. Speaking from personal experience, I had to let it be known publicly that if I keep being followed, everyone's going to find out that I'm a GTA character and I got a couple weapons stored in my ass that I will use at my own discretion. But that's besides the point. It is not difficult to just walk away from somebody who's saying things you disagree with. There's no need for confrontation. There's no need for hostility. Just walk away. Because if you choose to do, or in this case, say something, it could get you in a little bit of hot water. It could get you perceived as nothing but an evil person who, if everyone doesn't agree, you might do something very dramatic and drastic that won't help whatever side you want to propagate as the main thing or the most important or the more righteous. It'll just make you and your message look very bad. For example, the topic of transgenders and children. I don't necessarily care what a grown adult does with their body. You're a grown adult. You want to get a tattoo? Don't care. It's not my body. You want to get an implant or an ear piercing? Don't care. Not my body. You want a makeshift head? Not my body. It's not my problem. But when we get into the realm of the children, that's where I'm a little bit confused, because I necessarily can never understand how a child can know that they're in the wrong body. I just can't necessarily understand that one, and I will continue to be confused by that line of concept. But what happens when two opposing sides collide? Well, you guessed it. Someone is going to start saying that they're going to hunt somebody down and kill them because of what they're saying. And I haven't watched this, and I'm expecting, based on what the description was given to me, I'm expecting some hostility, I guess, from this woman.
It's not hatred. You guys, it's not hatred to tell a child that they can grow up to be healthy and whole.
That's true. That's not hatred. That's not evil.
Top surgery. Kaiser Permanente charges only a $100 copay, and the surgeon makes $25,000.
Well, that's the medical system, baby. Where's the hostility?
I was approved for a phalloplasty in 2 appointments over Zoom. My doctor told me I could have a fake penis that would allow me to either pee standing up or to have penetrative sex, but not both. Do you think your transgender child might one day have top surgery and a phalloplasty?
Now, see, right here, clearly, you may be somebody, this woman right here, you may be somebody who's very much in the camp of the trans kids and how much they should exist. And right now, you're being confronted by somebody who differs from that. You could either A, like talk and explain yourself, or B, walk away. These are your justifiable reactions. Talk or walk away. Let's see what you do.
Is that something you would allow them to have? You know, they make a phalloplasty.
Walk away.
Skin tissue on
Just
your,
walk away.
Thigh,
You don't. This looks like a conference room. You can walk somewhere else.
$130,000. I'm gonna hunt you down and fucking kill you.
Dramatic. And why you suddenly pushed it just like a little bit. Why would you say that? Why? Because if you scroll down, I'm not going to do it because they got addresses on here. They didn't found this woman. They didn't found who she is. They probably going to call her job. They probably going to call her place of employment. And by the time I start editing this video, there's probably going to be some statement out there saying, we do not condone any of the actions said by this person who's affiliated with our company. We are no longer going to establish a working relationship with this individual in any capacity whatsoever. And now you're going to be out of a job. You're probably going to start saying something on social media about how you were targeted and hated on and people should exist. Madam, you set yourself up to be disappointed. You set yourself up to lose income. You set yourself up to be embarrassed publicly, and you set yourself up to have whatever narrative or conversation that you are in support of be viewed as nothing more than people who, if they don't get what they want, apparently they're going to hunt him down and start killing him. You did a disservice to anything you truly care about. And that's really what irked me as a person. That's what irks me, that you have all these people, whether if you agree with them or not, who stand firm in what it is they believe in. And when you confront them, you give them a little pushback. You give them just like the slightest little, these motherfuckers just start going the route of saying, fuck it, time to die. You don't get anything from that. And for some reason, this is the part where I said motherfuckers are going to misconstrue. Motherfuckers think somehow that makes me the bad guy for telling motherfuckers to don't do that. No, you dumbass. Don't respond to criticism or pushback with telling the motherfucker who's in front of you, giving you that criticism or pushback, I'm going to find you. I'm going to find your family. And I'm going to make sure that you know. Like, you sound stupid.
You can't tell somebody you're going to.
Correct. And you notice how now the woman is walking away? Why couldn't you do that before? Why couldn't you do that at any point before? Because if you truly, because I saw the full clip and I'm going to put it here.
What's that?
I said, hi, Turk. I'm going to stand next to you.
Great. What age do you think the girl's mature enough to have?
I think that's a decision for herself, her provider, and her parents.
How did you feel about your body change when you were going through puberty?
Oh, I have lots of different feelings about it. But you know what? I'm still going to go over here and see him. I'm not going to just quiet to you. I'm just going to stand next to you to counter your hatred.
You think it's hatred to tell girls that they could be healthy and whole? So, Kaiser Permanente told my daughter that she should go on puberty blockers and hormones when she was 13. And I told my daughter that's not possible, that you'll never become a man. And she grew up to be a healthy, whole woman. She's 20 years old now. Do you know any transgender children?
I do.
Yeah? Do you have a transgender child?
I do.
And how did they know they were transgender?
Because that's something a person knows inside them.
Yeah? At what age did you know that you were a cis woman? At what age?
That's something I really thought about.
Oh, and why did your child think they're transgender?
Maybe I'm not going to answer your questions anymore. I'm just going to stand here silently next to you, okay? We're done.
Oh, sure. Does your child go to a public school in California? Did they learn there could be 13 gender identities?
I'm going to
My daughter learned.
I just want to say thank you again. Can I give you a hug? Thank you for doing this.
Can I have a
Thank you.
hug?
Thank you for standing
Can I have a hug?
here. No, you can't.
Why can't the gay boys grow up to be gay men?
You answering questions at that moment. You clearly are hearing questions that you disagree with and you don't like, and you're answering. You're doing one of the two options, but then it gets annoying for you. And it's at that point you go with the second option. You walk away. And if they follow you, that's when, you know what? It's going to have to be a decision of fight or flight at that point, because you shouldn't be getting followed if you choose to walk away from somebody. But you chose to give a message out that makes you look bad. If it was just somebody confronting an individual who supports trans rights for kids and asking questions and you answering questions, this is nothing. Nobody's talking about this. Somebody would probably be like, look at this stupid fuck saying all these things. But that would have been it. You made it 10 times worse saying something you shouldn't have said. So congratulations on playing yourself, making yourself look stupid, and overall giving more ammunition to your opposition steadfast, because they like motherfuckers like you. They like motherfuckers like this who will say the dumbest thing imaginable for the gotcha. They want this. They love it. And you give it to them every single time when you choose to, instead of just continuously answering the questions or walking away or doing both, you instead start planning an operation to hunt somebody down and taking their life for the cardinal sin of having a differing opinion from you and asking you about it and confronting you on issues that would stem from this being a problem in other people's eyes. Congratulations, you bent yourself over. But let me know, how do you handle confrontation? How do you handle disagreements? Do you engage? Do you disengage? Do you all get around the family table during Sunday dinner and start hurling food at each other? You gotta let me know how y'all handle these things. I'm looking for new ways to handle confrontation when I step out into the world, because old little Leon, sometimes he struggles with being outside with you humans. That's why he only operates at night. Kind of like a sex worker. I'll see you all, I'm not a sex worker, in the next one. Mwah! Goodbye.